Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back. I was gone for a little bit, but that does not matter today. Today we are going to be talking about how to move from discipline to devotion. So this is going to be episode 3 of Date Your Desires. We're hopping back into the series. I'm so excited to get into it. I think it was my last video, or maybe my last 2 videos that weren't about the series, but today we're doing episode 3. So like I mentioned, we're going to be diving into discipline, devotion, the differences, and how to move from discipline to devotion. I also wanted to say quickly that this kind of devotion versus discipline idea was inspired by a creator. Her name is Kayla Rose. She has an entire episode on the art of devotion, and she goes way more into discipline, devotion, even hypoarousal and hyperarousal, about like overwhelming the nervous system. And she just does a really good job of describing the differences between devotion and discipline and how she moved from discipline to devotion. So if you want more on this subject specifically, I would recommend her video, and I'm going to link it below because she kind of inspired this for me, and it got me thinking, and these are the thoughts that I'm having based on her video. So I wanted to start today's video with the definitions of each word. So we're going to start with the definition of discipline. These definitions come straight from Merriam-Webster on the internet. Hopefully Merriam-Webster is still a credible source. I don't know. I feel like everything is kind of compromised these days. But yeah. So the definition of discipline is either control gained by enforcing obedience or order, behavior in accordance with rules, orderly conduct, self-control, or an activity that one engages in regularly to train or improve oneself. The definition of devotion is first religious fervor, which is described as intensity of feeling or expression, or the act of dedicating something to a cause, enterprise, or activity. So with that in mind, I feel like personally, kind of moving everything around. I feel that the word discipline, the energy of discipline, feels more forceful, rigid, constrictive. I feel like discipline, to me, I'm speaking for myself, removes choice. Discipline to me just feels like super, I don't know, like just doing this one thing and this one thing only and committing to it no matter what, which is fine. But for me, when I hear the word discipline, it kind of activates some resistance within myself. It really makes my inner child want to run away and throw a tantrum. If I'm being completely honest, it just makes me cringe inside. And so personally, that's why I sort of started the series, Date Your Desires, and talked about how we can move from discipline to devotion, from consistency to commitment, and from motivation to passion. Those are going to be for later episodes. But yeah, discipline it doesn't feel good in my body. Like I said, it feels constrictive and it removes choice for me. And it makes, I don't know, it just, whenever I hear discipline, it feels like I'm forcing myself to do something. I mean, it could be something that I want to do, but it just feels so forceful is really what I'm trying to stress. And it makes me want to do it even less, which is like counterproductive because I'm supposed to be disciplined to get the result that I want, but it makes me not want to do it at all, honestly, because it feels like I have no say in the matter. But on the contrast, devotion feels more gentle. It's like warm and cozy and fluid. And devotion feels more rooted in love than like a specific outcome. Devotion is more like I'm doing this for myself and not for external validation, which we'll get into a little bit later. And to me, devotion allows for variety and choice. It doesn't feel like sticking to the same thing every single time. And to me, devotion, I feel like makes room for what the body is feeling and what the body needs for that specific day, instead of just ignoring what my body is trying to tell me in pursuit of whatever the outcome that I want is. That, I feel like that didn't really make sense, but I feel like devotion works better because, like I said, it leaves space for choice and variety. I can't show up the same way every day. I am a woman that practices cycle syncing, and I know that my hormones are different from day to day, and I can't perform the same way that I can in my ovulation phase versus my menstrual phase, which is what I'm in right now. And I feel like being devoted instead of being disciplined kind of fulfills that need of flexibility, and really taking a step back and asking myself, how can I still show up today in pursuit of this desire that I have, but in a way that still feels good for me and for my body, and not just, I need to do this because XYZ. Another point that I wanted to bring up was let me get it right. Extrinsic motivation versus intrinsic motivation. And there's going to be like more definitions. To me, discipline signals extrinsic motivation, which is, and I have my definitions here. Extrinsic motivation is the drive to engage in behavior to earn external reward or avoid punishment rather than for internal enjoyment, which to me sounds like I need to do this because I should. An example, I need to eat a certain way so my body can look a certain way, versus devotion, which signals intrinsic motivation to me, which is the drive to engage in an activity for its own sake, stemming from internal satisfaction, enjoyment, or curiosity rather than external rewards. So with that same example, it would be, I am eating this way today because it feels good for my body, and these are the nutrients that my body needs right now, versus I need to eat a certain way every day because I want this specific outcome. Either it be like, this is how I want my body to look, so I'm going to eat this way. And I feel like it kind of like tunes out what the body needs in favor of a specific look that you want. Hopefully this is making sense. I hope it does. And if it doesn't, please let me know in the comments and I can elaborate more. But yeah, I feel like devotion removes that pressure of perfectionism and of performance. And when you're devoted, I feel like it makes it more fun. It makes following your dreams more fun because you're not just doing it for the end goal. You're doing it because you're enjoying the process and you're enjoying showing up for yourself in a way that feels good for you, rather than just choosing to do something because you want the specific outcome and the specific result of that action. And yeah, so, Loki's readjusting. So how do we shift from discipline to devotion? And what I wrote in my notes here is that first we need to become aware of what is motivating us. Is it something extrinsic, like I said before, is it an external reward? Or is it intrinsic because you want to do this for your own satisfaction, your own curiosity? Which I feel like ties back to episode 2 of Date Your Desires. What are your intentions? Setting those intentions before you even get to planning your dates and, engaging in the desire that you have. I also wrote, who is in the driver's seat? Basically, like, is it your ego, which wants the external result, or is it your authenticity? And yeah, like, who is in the driver's seat? Is it your ego or your authenticity? And taking a moment to really figure out what is motivating you will really kind of lay it out clearly. Like, do I just want the external result? Or am I really honoring what I truly want and need right now? So you can ask yourself a couple questions. The first one is, why do I feel like I need to do this? The second one is, what do I think this will give me? And these questions are similar to the questions that I had in my other video, what are your intentions? But the third question is this for me or is this for validation? Whether it be I want these people to see that I have this, that I achieve this, or I am doing this just for myself because I enjoy it. And the last question is, what is my intention with this action? So I also wanted to provide a personal example of how I'm personally navigating discipline versus devotion. And, you can kind of take away a little something from my little anecdote. So I set a goal earlier this year to post on YouTube once a week. And as you can see, if you go back on my channel, I did not post the last 2 weeks. Not because I'm not devoted to, showing up and building a community. I'm just more devoted to honoring myself, honoring my own limits. I had some unexpected travel come up, and truthfully, y'all, I was in my luteal phase. And mama was tired. I was real tired. And I just didn't have anything to say. And I want what I post about to be of value. I didn't want to force myself to get ready, come up with an outline and a script to follow, and get in front of the camera feeling like garbage just to say that I posted a video, which would be the extrinsic. Okay, my bad, y'all. My phone ran out of storage, so now I'm filming on my other phone. But it's okay, I'm almost done. What I was saying is that I could have forced myself to film a video for that extrinsic reward, but at what point what did I say in my notes? At what point does pushing ourselves just to say that we did something become more important than honoring how we truly feel and honoring our limits? And I just didn't want to do that at the cost of, the relationship that I am cultivating with my body, and really learning to listen to her, and really just honing in and honoring those feelings of being exhausted. Before I had the unexpected travel, I'd been traveling every single month for the last 5 months since October. And so I was just so tired. I really was. And so I chose not to post. And I am more devoted to honoring my body, like I've been saying, and listening to what I truly need, rather than just posting to post just to say that I did, at the cost of ignoring that signal that I need to rest. Because if you ignore one signal, then the next one gets quieter and quieter. And when you continue to ignore your body, that is when you start to go down the road of chronic illness, disease. Your body's trying to tell you something and you're just not listening, in favor of saying, I did this, or I need to get this done, so I'm just not going to rest. And, as a health coach, I have to walk the walk. So I can't be doing that. I can't be compromising my mental health and my physical health for the sake of a YouTube video. When there's a red light and you choose to run it, that's the risk that you take when you know that you need to stop and rest, but you continue to push on anyway. And if you keep running them red lights, you are going to crash. So yeah, that is what I'm leaving y'all with. The main takeaway that I want you guys to get from this video is that discipline can build pressure, but devotion can build trust. And, with the entire relationship metaphor that I have been playing with on, the series Date Your Desires, trust is what we need. Trust is the foundation of every relationship. And when you are honoring yourself, really asking yourself, what can I do today to show up for me? Not for the external reward, not for the outcome of this action, but what can I do today that will still help me move forward in this pursuit of my desire, but also what is going to honor myself and honor what my body needs right now. And yeah, that is kind of the difference between discipline and devotion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of conversation that I want to have here with discipline versus devotion. The next episode will be about consistency versus commitment, which will kind of follow the same thing with, just trying to eliminate that pressure, which I struggle with a lot. I feel like when the pressure is too much, I just give up. So these are little shortcuts that I make for myself to where I can still like achieve what I want without burning out and without running away. So if that is something that you struggle with, I encourage you to stick around for the rest of this Date Your Desire series. I will still have my Desire Dating roster linked below, and I'm still working on my Date Your Desires directory, which will include more information about discipline versus devotion, consistency versus commitment, and motivation versus passion. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm really happy to be back and, having this conversation with you guys. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, share with anyone that you feel might be in need of this message. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.